Well, the wheel has turned again, and winter is definitely upon us. Especially down here in Melbourne, we recently had our coldest June day in nearly 20 years, so we're feeling the cold down here. But if you're anything like me, where you suffer a little bit in these colder months, you'll be pleased to know that the winter solstice has also passed, which means that our days are now getting longer and the nights are getting shorter. So we are on our way towards the summer. You know, it's coming. There's a summer on the horizon. However, you know, it's often in the next few months that we really start to suffer, when it's darker and colder and, you know, all these things build up for us. So I thought I'd offer you my 5 hot tips for surviving the cold, plus a few essential extras that I find really help me get through winter or any season. Hot tip number 1. Recognise that this is part of your natural cycle, a moment in time. And just as any other cycle that you experience in life, it's much more beneficial if we just go with the flow, you know, and allow it to happen. I mean, if we look to nature at this time in winter, I mean, nature's shedding its leaves. It's, you know, it's really embracing the cold. It's not standing there complaining and all those kind of things. It's, you know, it's riding that wave. And I mean, that's actually part of the beauty of winter, or I find, you know, is when you witness that and you really see it standing there in its stillness and its silence and its beauty. And you know, when we go with those cycles and we go with that rhythm, then that's when you'll really get the most out of your winter. Hot tip number 2, acceptance. Practice acceptance. I mean, it's a really powerful tool or, you know, process at any time, but particularly during winter. I mean, this is the time where we really get to sit with the stillness and sit with ourselves and hear or feel those things that we might not have been hearing or feeling in the busier times. So, you know, acceptance is really important at that time, to just go with what is and to just allow those feelings and embrace those feelings. And, you know, they might not feel very comfortable, but as I often say, you know, often it's not the emotion that causes our stress, but it's actually our resistance to the emotion. So by practicing acceptance, you actually get to feel that emotion and allow it to be. And usually it gets released a lot more quickly that way. So acceptance of all things in your life. Hot tip number 3, release attachments. I mean, this is a time of letting go. If you look at nature, you know, she's shed all her leaves. It's a time to really let go of those things that aren't serving us. And you know, this can be physically, this can be, you know, go through your wardrobe. What haven't you worn for a year? Go through your cupboards. What's sitting there that you don't need? You know, have a clear out, that spring clean. You know, this is the time of preparation of that, of really releasing those attachments to those things that we have. And, you know, this can include our emotions or behaviours or things like that as well. So, you know, again, this is in this time of stillness that we get to witness these things that perhaps aren't working for us. And when we release the attachments to them, it makes it a lot easier for us to go with the flow and actually, you know, bring in the new growth and move towards what we're really wanting, rather than stay stuck in old patterns of behaviour or old patterns of relating or old things. You know, it really does serve us to let go and release those attachments so that we can welcome new growth when the new cycle begins. Hot tip number 4. I think we live in a really incredible body. You know, our body is an amazing system. It has this incredible ability to fight off colds and flus and all sorts of stresses that we put it under. But sometimes our immune system does need a little boost or a little helping hand. I mean, we put it through a lot of stress in our day-to-day lives. And, you know, there are a few simple things that you can do to actually support your immune system at this time. You know, things like lemon in hot water, it just helps to neutralise things. You know, lots of fresh fruit and vegetables. Ginger, ginger can help give the immune system a boost. Zinc, vitamin C, these simple things that actually help us to replenish and restore our immune system, which helps us fight off colds and flus and things like that naturally. And it feels good. So, I really invite you at this time to just nourish your inner body, through those beautiful, nourishing foods that can really support you at this time. Hot tip number 5. Well, look, this time of year, as I've already mentioned, it's a time of stillness. It's a time of really tuning in. So I invite you to make the most of this time by really listening to what your spirit has to say. At all the other times of year, we can be busy at any time of year, but during the summer we're certainly busy, we're more active, and other times of year they're transition points as well, and we're very active in that. But really, winter's the one time of year that we get to really just tune in. Take that time out. If you're feeling tired, it's a sign from your body, from your spirit, that it wants to be heard, or that you need to replenish. So listen to your spirit. Really listen. Just those simple things. I'm tired, so have a little rest. But also that deeper thing of this is a magnificent time to really listen to the needs of your spirit. Listen. It fits in with all these other things, releasing the attachments and letting go of stuff. So what's no longer serving your spirit, and what does your spirit need to thrive? Listen for those things. This is a beautiful time to just tune in and really listen to what your spirit is calling you to do in this life and in this moment. And now, as an extra bonus for making it all the way to the end of this video, I've got a few of my personal essentials that I find just help me get through the winter, or any season, but particularly the winter. I hope you enjoy.